I'm Scott Allen Miller. It's the 17th of December, 2023. This is my vlog of daily life living in Leon, Nicaragua. This is the day for the 17th. That means you're seeing it on the 24th. It's Christmas Eve. So, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays from all of us to all of you. Today, I'm going to be taking it easy on the show. We're not going to do any big topics because a lot of you, almost all of you, are celebrating the holidays, and we are too. So, I'm going to give you a little update on where we are and what's going on. And we'll get to all that right after the bump. My dog that you see behind me, Mia, the blue heeler mix, is always really excited when I come outside to do the show. And she just freaks out every single time. Even if I just look like I might be going outside to do the show, or I go out to do one of the shorts that you guys see, she just freaks out. Now Clive, the little one, he likes it too, but he doesn't get nearly as excited as she does. But they just run and bark and jump, and every time it's so funny. This is what I go through as I go out to do the show. I also want to point out, so I'm recording this actually on Friday, which is the 22nd. So I'm a little bit behind on the show. We're coming into the holiday weekend, so I'm getting ready. I just want to point out just how dark the sky is. We're in the dry season. It should be just clear all the time, getting cloudy at this time of year. Very uncommon coming up to Christmas. It is so dark. It's still the middle of the afternoon and it is really dark out here. Luckily today I didn't have a crazy amount of work. We're into getting ready for Christmas mode. We have a lot going on. So this is our second year here for Christmas. It is if you do the math, you'll be like, wait, Scott, you were here for 3 Christmases. Yes, that's correct. If you watch the videos from last year, which you can always see at the end of the episodes, we were in the United States for Christmas. We went back for the holidays. This Christmas we were here again, and we were here for the Christmas in 2021. So this is our first time where we really had a bit of time to kind of be prepared and know that we were going to be here for Christmas. Now, 2 years ago, when we did Christmas here, we did gingerbread houses out at the beach, and we have a video of that. And our friends Yvonne was there, and Camille, who's been on the show, they were there and did gingerbread houses with us. This year, we are doing gingerbread houses here in Sutiava, and actually, as I'm recording this video, my wife is in my line of sight in the kitchen making the actual gingerbread, because in the United States it's really common to do gingerbread houses, and in Europe, for example, like it's just a common cultural thing, but here it's all but unheard of because gingerbread is not a thing, and the whole gingerbread tradition thing like doesn't exist. So here you can't just go out and buy gingerbread to make gingerbread houses. You actually have to bake the gingerbread itself and assemble all the stuff. So when you go to do gingerbread houses, you're on your own making that. So it's a very, very different thing. But my kids love doing it. It's something they've always done with their cousins. So they've grown up. I didn't really, but my kids have grown up with making gingerbread houses being just a normal part of their Christmas tradition, and something that if they don't do, they really miss. And so that is something that when we're here, my wife puts in quite a bit of effort making that happen, and she's doing that as I record this. So this evening, on the Friday that I'm recording this, which is the 22nd, they are going to be doing that. You will be seeing, this is crazy. This is the update for the 17th. I'm recording it on the 22nd. You will see it on the morning. For those of you who still get up on the morning of Christmas Eve, we'll see it on Christmas Eve itself. So what do we have going on over the holiday weekend? Well, tonight, Friday night, we just when I come to record this, we had just signed off at work. Everyone said Merry Christmas and headed out for the weekend. We'll have some days off upcoming. Today, I actually had a pretty light day, as you expect in the last day before the holidays. Most customers do everything they can to not work more than they absolutely have to, so it's a very quiet day. That's good because it has been a very busy week, and we've all been sick. I have to keep stopping because I'm coughing like crazy, and both of my kids are sick. Luciana seems to be on the mend a little bit. She's had a bunch of cough. Liesel doesn't have the cough, but does have a very sore throat. So sore that we had to have a doctor come to the house today and look at them. No doctors were available, so a friend of ours, who's a doctor, came and saw them. He said, really, it just looks like a normal respiratory virus, nothing to be worried about. We need to keep an eye on it, but just take things to soothe the throat and get lots of rest, drink lots of water, have tea all the time. That's about it. So that is what's going on as far as that. They seem to have the same thing that I've had for weeks. I'm kind of getting better, but I'm still coughing a lot, and that isn't improving at the rate that you would hope that it is, but I am better than I was for sure. My worst days are quite a bit past. So we did that today. We got a lot of shopping going on for the holiday, as everyone does, right? Even here living in Nicaragua, where you don't do a lot of holiday shopping, you still do some holiday shopping, of course. And one of the big things that is going on for me is I have the new camera that we got from the show. Thank you to all of you, especially Javier, but others got involved as well, who put up a lot of money to be able to get the Sony ZV-1 vlogging camera so I can go out and get a lot more footage of Nicaragua. And that was quite some time ago. So a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, that was a thing. Yes, that was a thing. We've had the camera for quite some time, but it's been sitting in Houston and I've not been able to get it. It is being shipped, hopefully any day now, out to Miami, where Melvin, who does the show 20 Food and Drinks about Nicaragua, and has been doing that for a number of years. He is stockpiling stuff in Miami, and in a few weeks, Paul is flying to Miami, getting a whole bunch of stuff and flying back with it, because that's a normal thing that you do, right? When you live down here, it is so cheap and easy to go back to the United States, and there's so many things we can't get down here, like for a lot of clothing items can be difficult. I'm a bigger guy. I have bigger feet. Every time I need to get sandals or shoes, I got to get them from the United States. I can get shirts here, but it's a lot harder to find them. So a lot of times I'm getting new clothing from up there, that kind of stuff, socks, anything, right? And it's just easy to go on, say, Amazon, have it shipped and have it ready, and bring down all those kinds of things. So a lot of that kind of stuff going on. So that Sony that I've had now for quite some time, which was a used camera to begin with, and I've now had it for 6 months, is finally going to be making its way down, hopefully, if nothing goes wrong. And Alan is up there right now celebrating Christmas, and he's bringing back a few little, I need like batteries and stuff that are hard to get down here. He's bringing that stuff back down as well. So, and that's one of the big things, that when you live down here, you often have these, oh, someone's going home for the holidays, someone's going home to visit, someone's on a, and they let everyone know, hey, I'm coming, I can bring some things. And you look for those, you know, those cables you can't get down here, those batteries, those socks, whatever, and have them bring them down. That system really tends to work. So a lot of doing that online shopping stuff today, trying to get ready for the holiday and having all that stuff ironed out. The other thing that I'm doing, and this is really exciting, is I'm finally getting my professional camera system. I have been saving for this and planning for this and waiting for the right gear and researching the gear for years. When I first got to the beach almost 3 years ago, when I would walk the dogs every morning, I would spend all this time thinking about what I wanted to have in a camera, because I was just starting the vlog and I was really doing a lot of recording of stuff in Nicaragua, and I really wanted to get a lot of footage, and I didn't have any cameras beyond the GoPro 9 at that time. I had an older Nikon D90 DSLR, which is fine for taking photos, but that was it, right? It doesn't take video or anything like that, and even as a photo camera, 14 years old or whatever. And I had the GoPro 9 and of course my cell phone, which at the time was only so-so. I have a much better one now, and even the one I have now is just pushing 3 years old. So really not new. All that time I spent thinking about what cameras I wanted to get, but it was such an investment, and we didn't know how I was going to use them here, and the show was just getting started, and we weren't even thinking of it as a show back then. And so a lot of things have changed in the interim, and I've gotten the Olympus that I use for a lot of things, and I've gotten more GoPros and such, but wanting a really professional camera that can do unbelievably high quality video footage is something that I've wanted all this time, and have been really learning how I use things, what I need. And it's important that I've taken this time, because we've learned things like active cooling is an absolute necessity here. There's so often that I'm doing recording in dark conditions at night where the temperature isn't that high, and the Nicaragua temperatures are still so high that the really nice cameras that I have can only make it 10 to 20 minutes before they shut down from overheating. Plus they have all kinds of battery problems. And that's a big deal when you're trying to record things like concerts or whatever. You can't really be taking breaks. It's not like this footage where if the camera overheats, I can switch to another camera or whatever. You have to be able to keep it running all that time. So my choices are many expensive cameras or one even more expensive camera that can be actively cooled. So finally, after all this time, getting that ordered, and hopefully we'll have that in my hands in just a few weeks. And that's going to allow for a lot of new recording capabilities and styles that we've not been able to do in the past. A lot more flexible. Both of those cameras are going to make for a lot lot more flexibility. The Sony being very portable, that I can just take it for everyday stuff, hide it in my pocket, and get little shots of things. It's a Fuji that I'm getting as the professional camera. The really big thing with that is that I'm going to hopefully be able to record concerts and stuff in 4K. Right now I'm having to divide them up and record in 1080p, and it's very limiting, and going to 4K and getting one continuous shot of the entire event is a really big deal. So hopefully a lot more recording with that. It's also a big deal. The cameras I have now can only record for about 4 minutes at a shot for the file sizes. So they shoot video, and you have to put together dozens of videos and assemble them with an audio track that's separate. Like, it's really complicated and a lot of work to put together a simple video that often has breaks in it and problems because of all these files and the overheating. So solving all of that with one thing is really huge for me. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 23rd, I'm going to be heading to Managua. I don't know all the details yet, but Valentina, that you've seen on the show, not Valentina who does work on the show, but Marcella's daughter, is going through her, it's called a promotion here. It's graduation ceremony, basically, equivalent in the United States. I don't know why they do it over the Christmas holiday, but I guess it's just when they can get all that done. So I'm representing us. Dominica was going to go, but is feeling just overwhelmed with the number of things she has to do for the holidays, and is still feeling sick, and so she doesn't feel she can go. So I'm going to do that, but we do have some shopping in Managua we need to do, so we may be doing that. Who knows? It is going to be a very busy day tomorrow in Managua. Hopefully I'll get some footage. I should have some time there, but we will see where I'm able to film and when over the holidays, as I try to get things for everybody. Then Sunday is the 24th. That's when you're probably watching this, so I should have done that yesterday in real time. We will be having some friends over, and then in the evening we're doing kind of a family quiet thing for Christmas, which is really nice for me, because growing up, my family always did Christmas on Christmas Eve. That's when we opened presents. That's when we did all of our nuclear family Christmas stuff. And then Christmas Day was really going to see the extended family, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and then the big dinners and things like that. So Christmas Day for me was still part of Christmas for sure, but it wasn't what I picture as Christmas. My Christmas was always Christmas Eve, and very quiet and very low key, and just my family. And that's something that I've had a little bit of now, but only once or twice ever with my kids have we been able to do that, because we've always done big Christmas up in the States with all the extended family, their cousins, their aunts and uncles, their grandparents, and that's what we do for the whole thing. And the Christmas Eve was tons of family and lots of prep for Christmas and a lot of things with their cousins. And so a very different experience. And they have a very special Christmas tradition, and my kids have really gotten this big grandiose Christmas experience most of their lives. But it is hard for me to have given up how Christmas always was for me as a kid. And my kids have not having, always imagining that my kids would get something similar, at least some of the time. So this Christmas will be a little bit closer to that. Not the same at all, but a little bit closer to that for sure. So that is our plans. And then Christmas Day is Monday, so we're going to be off work, and so long weekend, which is great. And then we'll be spending the morning having our official family Christmas, doing all the gifts and that kind of stuff on Christmas morning. And then Christmas evening, we're having a big Christmas dinner here with lots of friends from both Nicaraguans and expats who live in the area and don't have families to go celebrate with. They're coming here, and we're having a big Christmas dinner here. So that is what's going on for our Christmas weekend. I will not be doing too much Christmas content for you guys, but I wanted to give you, as this is Christmas Eve that you're watching this most likely, kind of the update on what we're doing for Christmas. And wow, tonight there are so many bugs, little tiny flies flying all over my face. It's driving me crazy. I do have to mention, I had this in the shorts, but we've had a bit of wildlife. It's been quite cold this week, several days. It's been in the 60s in the morning, which is unheard of here. We're freezing, and so is the wildlife. We've had a number of things coming into the house, including 4 tarantulas, and last night we had a giant tarantula, seriously, get into the house. It scared people. It ran into the bathroom to hide, so we had to deal with that. That was enormous. And then late at night, I was like, I'm going to take a shower. There's only one shower that was still warm left in the house because we've had some problems with the electrical. The suicide showers are touchy. And I went to take a shower, and I had my glasses off, and I noticed something in the shower, and I'm like, I really hope that's a rubber gasket laying in and I put on my glasses, and no, it was a snake hanging out in our shower. How a snake got into my bathroom shower, I have no idea. But I tried tried to capture it, and I woke people up, and everybody, we tried to get it, but it went into the door rails, so we couldn't move anything without killing it or harming it, so we had to leave it. And then by the time we were able to figure out, like, I kept trying to keep an eye on it, and he disappeared. So he found his way out of the house or somewhere where we wouldn't notice him. We have no idea. But he was not very big and not poisonous or anything. Not venomous, I should say. Hopefully not poisonous either, but I'm not going to eat him. And so that's our adventure of just all these things coming into the house. We've also had a tiny little tree frog living in the other bathroom. I haven't seen him in a couple days, but I did get some video of him. He's adorable. He's been hiding, and the funniest thing, normally he hides behind the sink, so you just see him back there and just kind of stares at you. But the first time I noticed him, he was high on the wall, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I didn't know what it was. I was afraid it was a bug, and he leapt from one wall over my head to another wall, and very disturbing. But once you know it's just a little tiny tree frog, they're adorable, and he hangs out in the bathroom. So we just have one thing after another moving into the house. This seems to be the season for it. So thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Scott Allen Miller. As always, share on social media, tell your friends about the show. Have yourself a Merry Christmas, have happy holidays, and I will see all of you tomorrow.